Are we ready?
We are ready.
Oh, you should have told me. I would have stopped doing what I was doing.
That's all right.
My name is Salena-Hawkins, and as you can see, I'm an enthusiast for the cowbell.
Yes.
This evening, as usual, for this year, we're going to be reading short stories. I say this year because last year we read short. I mean, we read excerpts from novels and things like that. And I thought I would give our audience a break. Thank you, Andrea, in Italy. I thought this evening we would be reading a continuation of short stories.
I want to thank all your YouTube members and Facebook members who have been looking at your videos.
Who's speaking out there? Is that you, Salena-Hawkins?
This is me,
Yes, I'm sorry.
Salena-Hawkins. I was just saying we want to thank all of the people who have been listening to your videos and looking at your videos, and we appreciate their comments.
Hey.
Roger,
Hey, some of them
Linda,
have
Billy,
been outrageously.
Mariana, Susan.
Yeah, I
Rama.
really appreciate that. Hey guys, thank you. You can see what we're doing, and I think most of it might be considered fun.
Yes.
This story is called, well, it's called Robotic Romance, and it comes from the Likka Sto Rufus Chronicles. For those of you who've been following Likka Sto Rufus, I have a novel out called The Likka Sto Rufus, Conversation with Likka Sto Rufus. And Likka Sto is just simply a vernacular way of saying liquor store. But except for the fact that people who customarily go to the liquor store do not call it liquor store. They don't say that. They say, you go into the liquor store, bring me one. So this guy's name is Likka Sto Rufus. And here we go. Before I read it, liquor store drinks a little bit. Not capoeira juice like I'm drinking. This is capoeira juice. And the cup was given to me by Salena-Hawkins in order to drink capoeira juice from, so that I could stay away from that harsh liquor.
Moving right along. Moving right along.
Going right along. Before I really get into this, let me make it clear that me and Sweet Wine Willie have been tight for a long time. We date back to playing high school basketball together. He was a fast dribbling guard and I was a small forward. This was way before the days of the power forward and all that, you know, Max Johnson and stuff. In some ways, I guess it was only natural we would wind up being close. Likka Sto Rufus and Sweet Wine Willie. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And Lord knows we did have a whole lot in common. We were a few months apart age-wise. We grew up in the same hood, and since we couldn't get drafted for it was like it's Vice President Cheney, baby. We both got drafted and sent to Nam. That's what we called Vietnam back then. This is how far that dates back. You dig it?
Mm-hmm.
Nam really messed me up, no doubt about it. I was a first-class sniper, and I blew so many brains out that when I got back to the world, that's what we call coming back home, I gave some serious thought to blowing my own brains out. I have to give some serious thanks to Reggie Burroughs, a blind African-American non-vet consul at the VA, for joking me away from the idea of killing myself. Let's look at it this way, my brother. You'll have to look at it for me, because as you can see, I'm blind as a bat. If you push yourself away from the dinner table, in a manner of speaking, you'll never have the pleasure of eating your mama's fried chicken again. Bruh Burroughs really know how to get at you. But my mama's been dead for 10 years already, I said. Bruh Burroughs didn't miss a beat. Well, if you're dead as a doornail, you won't even have the pleasure of the memory of your mama's fried chicken. How about that?
Mm-hmm.
It took a few months for this blind ex-Vietnam vet, a brother from Lyons, Georgia, to convince me that killing myself, committing suicide, was not cool. Look at it this way, dude. Committing suicide is a relatively easy job to pull off, especially if you spend a little time killing other people. I think the act of suicide is much too selfish. That's the biggest problem I have with suicide. Okay, so you want to end it all, blow your brains out, whatever. But what about the people who love you? What's supposed to happen to them? Okay, so you chose a suicide, and you've left them no choice but to be dragged into your selfish decision. Hey man, if the only person you were destroying was yourself, I said, go ahead on. But it's not like that, dude. You're placing weights on other people's minds and spirits for years, maybe generations to come. Don't think selfishly. Think of the consequences of your actions. Needless to say, I didn't do my death. I did crack. But I'll deal with that a little later on. I came back with one leg shorter than the other. Wine came back from his home, from his time in Nam without his manhood. Imagine that at 24 years old, 25 years old. The Viet Cong, that's who we were fighting, not the Vietnamese people, were fiendish devils when it came to survival and booby traps. You could pull a banana leaf back and get stabbed in the eyes with punji sticks. The punji stick was a sliver of sharpened bamboo with dung smeared on it. Colin Powell got a punji stick wound through his left foot in Vietnam. Did you know that?
I didn't know that.
Yeah, he got wounded. Wine, during his time, stepped on a punji stick booby trap and it shot slivers of poison bamboo up between his legs. Up between his legs, y'all. The Kong tried to demoralize with this kind of stuff. And they did, to some extent. But they also made us mad as hell. So I came back to the world with one leg shorter than the other. Wine came back to the world at 24 with a whole lot of stuff that I had to experience, hadn't felt. You know what I'm saying? Me and Wine were roommates for about 3 months, once upon a time, and that was all I could take. I was having my post-traumatic stress disorder nightmares at night, but this brother was having his in the middle of the afternoon at other points in between. We kind of did the accordion bit with each other, you know what I'm saying? Going in and out of each other's lives. Sometimes I wouldn't see him for months, and then at other times I might see him every day for a month. A whole lot depended on what we were doing at the time. What was it? A couple of months ago now. He pulled up on me in my usual spot right here, next to the liquor store. Next to the liquor store. We did the old dap, the way brothers used to do in Nam. You know, all that handshaking and stuff and whatnot. I could tell he had something on his mind. Likka Sto, what do you think about same-sex marriages? I had to take a deep breath on that one. The first thought that came to my mind was, don't tell me sweet wine, Willie, to turn gay. I took another deep breath and thought as fast as that wine and crack would let me think. Well, let me put it to you this way, sweet wine. I think, personally, that people ought to be able to get married to whoever they want to be married to. That's the way I feel about it. He didn't give me a chance to take another deep breath before he fired the next zinger at my head. So what do you think about human robot marriages? I had to laugh out loud because I thought the brother was pulling my leg. But then I could see he was righteously serious from the expression on his face. Hey, look, Wine, why don't we poll our coins to get one? I think we'd have a better conversation about this with a little bit of Irish Rose from the liquor store. Richest Wild Irish Rose, Thunderbird, Night Train, popular brands of Gut Butt Pluck. I don't know what the grape content was, but the alcohol content was high enough to keep you from freezing on a sub-zero day. We got a fifth of Richard's Wild Irish Rose and tripped round to the back of the liquor store to sit and sip on the wooden crates back there. It took him 2 swallows of the pluck for him to get right back on the track. So what do you think about this human-robot marriage thing? Well, to be really honest with you, sweet Ryan, I haven't been given a whole lot of thought. But I have, he said, and swallowed a mouthful of richest Wild Irish Rose. There was nothing for me to do but play the waiting game, see where the brother was coming from. You know, the Japanese have been heavy into robots for a long time. Some of them even think the robots have souls. Okay, so a robot may have a soul, but would you want to be married to one of them? Huh? I call myself making a joke, being funny, you know what I'm saying. But that didn't go over too well with sweet wine. So what's wrong with being married to something that you feel love for, huh? Hey, we got some folks out here who love their cars. They love their television sets. They love their refrigerators. They love their kitchen sinks. They love their video cameras. They love a whole bunch of stuff. Why shouldn't they love their robots? So what's wrong with that, Mr. Likka Sto Rufus? I knew we were headed off the deep end when he called me Mr. Likka Sto Rufus. But I had to give him a little pushback. Whoa, hold on a minute, Mr. Sweet Wine Willie. Being in love with your car or your video camera is one thing, but what do you say to your mama or your daddy when you show up with Roberta the robot telling them y'all is getting married? How do you think that would play out? Funny thing, I noticed that the level of the wine in our bottle was getting low real fast. Was it time to get another one already? Likka Sto, I thought you was a progressive type dude. Now I can see that you ain't. Maybe you've been fooling me all this time. Can't you see that robots is going to be demanded to vote? They're going to be demanding citizenship. They the right to be free and equal just like all the rest of us. They'll be wanting to have everything we got. Everything they deserve. And we're going to have to give it to them or else they will revolt. And we'll have a worldwide revolution. Like they had in 1965. You remember that? You remember that? I remember that.
Yes.
To be honest, I wasn't totally sober when I stumbled away from the set. But I knew I had to move on before me and Sweet Wine Willie got to the violent stage. It's been a while since I've seen him, but when I do see him again, I'll definitely have more to say to him about that human-robot stuff. Brother gave me a lot to think about.
Very cool.
Okay, Zola, I'm going to take you out on this one.
Okay.
Because it's a good thing to take you out on.
Okay.
You're so cute.
Thank you, my love.
You're married to me, right?
Yeah, I'm so happily married to you.
How long have we been married?
Since
Sometimes I forget, it's 25 years or 15.
a lifetime.
A lifetime.
Yes.
So I was 15.
We've been blessed. with finding each other.
Isn't that right?
Yes, indeed.
Tell me about us.
Oh,
Oh, I'm sorry.
that's
we,
for
we
another.
can save it off camera.
That's an off-camera
Off
thing.
camera. Oh
Yes,
my
that's
God.
yes. We must not make it all public. You know. We're blessed. All I can say.
Going right back to the
Video.
to the thing at hand.
Moment in time.
To the moments in time. This one I'm calling The Family Who Loved Red Popsicles.
Gotcha.
It's very short, to the point.
Okay.
The Family Who Loved Red Popsicles. In 1995, I was 8 years old. This is not personal. It's not me. It's the character in my story.
Certainly.
You know, so that nobody will misunderstand. 1995, I was 8 years old, just barely able to understand that the Second World War had come to an end. What made it really clear and personal to me was my Uncle John returning to our basement on the near west side, ghetto of Chicago, in his army uniform. A really interesting man, Uncle John. He was the second of 4 brothers. My daddy, the youngest, was called Honey, and he was a year into a 5-year sentence just as Uncle John was returning to the scene. More about Daddy later.
Okay.
One of the things I noticed about Uncle John right off the bat was his way, his ability to blend in and at the same time retain his own individuality. He spent the first month of his return down in Aunt Mary's basement with all the rest of us sitting around the pot-bellied stove, talking and listening. More listening than talking, I noticed. I sat on the fringe of the family circle paying close attention to my uncle's words. North Africa, Italy, Italians, Germans, Africans. Aside from these exotic words, Uncle John had returned with a lot of money. He explained, we played poker a lot in our off time, and most of the fellas didn't know how to play poker as well as I did. One day, about a week before he left our basement to go live in a nice room on the south side, a porch window view, and his girlfriend, Henrietta, he said to me sort of joking, I'm going to let you buy us something to eat today. Think you can do it? Oh, yeah. I thought at that time I could do anything. Go to the grocery store, a piece of cake. I think Aunt Mary would have said something, objected to me going to get something to eat, but Uncle John was her favorite brother, and I had obviously become his favorite nephew. I felt privileged. No one around the all-purpose table said a word as I unpacked these red popsicles onto a large platter. Aunt Mary's usual Thanksgiving turkey platter. $10 worth, 10-cent popsicles. Here's your change, huh? He had given me a 20.
Oh my God.
I have to admit, I was a little puzzled by the way everybody around the table used for crap games on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sunday morning before services at Reverend A.T. Tiller's Sunrise Baptist Church stared at the red popsicles. I started to get a variety of flavors, banana, lime, grape, but after careful consideration, I decided on cherry red. I felt that everybody would dig cherry red.
Yes.
Uncle John broke the frozen expressions open with a wide smile and a few words. Well, now come on, y'all. We didn't tell the boy what to get, and it is a hot day.
There you go.
Uncle John had displayed his blessings on me. There was nothing anybody could do. He was the power. Everybody got a popsicle, beginning to drip a little bit. A couple of the grown-ups made funny faces, but nobody refused to eat a popsicle. I ate 2. A half an hour later, Aunt Mary made her weekly pilgrimage to Mr. Denoff's grocery store, the place where I had copped the popsicles. There's a lot of popsicles in here, kid. Don't eat them all at once. Sometimes it was hard to understand Mr. Dinoff, if he was joking or not, he was a good guy. We all agreed on that. Aunt Mary walked back into the basement like she was floating. I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm gonna buy a car. That was all she said for a few minutes. Cousin Edna led her to one of the milk crates we usually sat on and started fanning her with a folded up newspaper. Nah, take it easy, Aunt Mary. Take it easy. It took a few minutes for her to calm down. But while she was calming down, she kept repeating, I'm rich. I'm rich. I'm going to buy a car. Finally, with all of us staring her in the face, she took a deep breath, exhaled, and announced, I just won $3,500 in Mr. Dinoff's lottery. I don't know why I turned to look at Uncle John when Aunt Mary made her announcement. He had a snarky look on his face, something that seemed to say, shit, $3,500, what's that? It may not have meant a whole lot to Uncle John, but to Aunt Mary, her business partner, husband, Uncle Percy, and the rest of the clan, this was a big lottery money after spending lots of quarters over the course of a few years. I'm rich. I'm gonna buy a car. I don't think it mattered to her that she couldn't drive. I'm rich. I'm gonna buy a car.
Why not? Get what you want.
Say that again.
Get what you want.
Get what you want.
Yeah, go.
No need to jive around it.
Life is too short. Get what you want.
That's the sister, say it out loud.
Life is too short. Get what you want.
Ain't no sister not buying a car.
There you go.
That was where it started. Aunt Mary did buy herself a 1947 packet, which was parked in front of her basement gambling casino until my daddy, honey, got out of the slams and started pushing some miles onto that bad boy. Aunt Mary didn't seem to care how many miles he drove or where he went, just so long as he was available to drive her wherever she wanted to go, whenever. It was a win-win situation for him because she seldom went far from Washburn Avenue. The only point of contention they had was about Mr. Dinoff's private lottery. Daddy was definitely hip to Mr. Dinoff's scam after having won so many himself. Look here, this man may be collecting 25 grand from y'all every year, and then he pays out 3,500 every now and then. That's a scam. Daddy even had the nerve to mock the rituals Aunt Mary had set up to help her win again. She wanted to have one of us, the same age I was when I copped the red popsicles, go buy $10 worth of red popsicles on July the 6th at about 3 p.m. I lost my virginity to a female cousin. Aunt Mary refused to listen to Daddy's cynical rap. Honey, don't make fun of stuff you don't understand. That was all she had to say. He couldn't go against his older sister, the woman who had practically raised him, and her allies, all of us who benefited from her generosity. Aunt Mary won 3 more times in 3 years, $2,000, $2,500, and $52. Daddy figured he couldn't argue with success. And then, as a lot of our children say when you're talking to them about a movie they've seen, and then, Mr. Dinoff had a heart attack and died.
Well,
it was a catastrophe for the whole neighborhood. Who else gonna give us credit like he did? I guess because his corner store was a prime location, the man was barely cold in his grave before Mr. Dinoff was reopened as Reverend Tilley's thrift shop.
Oh my.
The Reverend A.T. Tilley's wife, Mrs. Sally Bean Tilley, obviously saw a good business opportunity and jumped on it. Aunt Mary shifted her lottery buying to one of the neighborhood liquor stores. But so far as I know, she never won another dime, despite following her rituals. But she has started a family tradition linking the buying of red popsicles to good luck. to the winning of money. Years later, after her death, 105 years old, there were family members who still equated red popsicles to luck, to good luck. Some people have hooked it up to Juneteenth. Well, a case might be made in an abstract way, but with all due respect, I think that the red popsicles for lunch and the good luck stuff was started by a Mary.
Ah.
I want to be guilty of driving nails into this subject, but I feel that I can say what I'm saying because I was the one who bought the first red popsicles.
This is so true.
And that's all I'm going to say about that, despite the fact that I've won the lottery for a new car, a red one. Y'all need some red popsicles? Y'all need some red popsicles?
Nah, I'm good. Praise it, my all
Get yourself together. I know you go. I know you need some red popsicles.
There you go.
Just one.
Just one. Just one. Okay, break it in half. You have one and I have one half.
You're so generous.
Your website is www.
Get yourself together.
ODieHawkins.com.
Put the no, stop eating the popsicle before we finish this off.
All right.
I'm sorry. Go ahead. What you
Imaginary
saying?
popsicles. I don't got no popsicles in the house. They still make popsicles?
In the fridge.
Oh, okay. All right.
We'll get it after it's over.
All right. Fantastic.
A moment in time.
A moment in time.
Yeah. I interrupted you.
Thank you very much. Again, I will repeat, your website is www.ODieHawkins.com. If you like this video, please subscribe to our YouTube channel. It's a bit ubiquitous, a little bit of this and a little bit of that, and a lot of moments in time. So with that, thank you, and we have it,
Yeah.
Miss